Everybody listen to Off the Stage podcast, you
That's what you do, isn't it?
I don't know why. It's like an ADHD thing, I think.
Hello, and welcome back to Off the Stage, the show where we take musicians off the stage and into the pub to talk about the ins and outs of the music world. I'm James Berry. This is Conor Michael, and we have here today, it is Nathan from...
It's Anthony.
Anthony, fuck's sake.
From Fail to Ignite. Well done, James.
I should warn people that I'm terrible with names. I do apologise. Anthony.
It's all good, I've been called worse before.
So Anthony, how's it going, Anthony?
Yeah, I'm all good. Came straight from work, so...
Spot on, Anthony. I'm never going to live that down, honestly. You know what? I did the same last week as well with State Connection State.
Yeah, but like, that's a connection, if you pardon the pun. Anthony and Nathan, very different names.
Yeah, that's very true. But it's quite close, though, isn't it? Is it? No.
I'm just some of the same letters in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to make myself feel a bit better. So it's...
So Nathan, how is it?
Yeah.
So what are you drinking? What are we doing? Your pint's over there.
It is, hang on.
Welcome to Off the Stage, where James is extra prepared for everything. He knows his guests' names.
Yes.
And we're going to be the best podcast for music in 2023.
Yes. Off to a flying start we are, I tell you.
What we got? I haven't drank. How to sip this yet? Let's say you're halfway through.
It's a whisper kicker. Oh, is it a kicker whisper? I don't know.
It's a sour. I'll give it that.
Yes, it is very sour. So what you
straight
on?
through the nose.
I'm on the most hardcore drink out with a lot of us.
Iced
Lemonade.
I thought you were going to say pure vodka there, but...
Yeah.
Aqua water, I mean. Nice. Yeah, so Fail to Ignite is, I'm presuming, a band.
It's a solo project.
Ooh.
One-man band solo project.
How do you
type
do
thing.
that?
So it varies. So in the studio, I record everything myself except drums because no one has time for that. So I just map them on MIDI and put them through Get Good Drums.
We've all done that.
And then live, I use a loop pedal with like drum pads and guitar effects. So it sounds like a full band, but the only difference is it's just me on stage. So people are like, "Are you playing to a backing track?" I'm like, nope, it's just me with me pads.
Don't have to tell me twice. That's how I do it live. Or loop pedal.
You've got to go through, like, you explain the process, don't you? And
Yeah, just so that people don't think. I hear backing tracks. I did a gig the other week with the band, just on the other day actually, and some fellow was on the backing track before us, and I was just watching a Villa game, going,
it's not the same, is it? Like,
it's not.
No, you see, I try and explain it, but then sometimes there's someone talking in the audience or something, so they miss it, and then they say afterwards, "Oh, did you use backing track?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
No, I explained it. But
So do you ever pre-record your loops? Because I know you can do that.
no, I do everything just live on the spot.
it's good.
My kind of guy. The best thing about live is the mistakes that can be made.
Yes, exactly.
That's nothing. You want perfection, you got to listen to the record, and even then, mine
100%.
aren't great.
Yeah, same here.
But you want to see live, you get the live experience. You know, you're not
Exactly.
there to see a robot.
Like the amount of times I've actually had to stop a loop because I've gone, whoops, wrong note on this bass line or whatever. So but then I'm like, it's okay, it's live music, it's fine.
Yeah, that's it.
I tend to get away with that. Sometimes what loop station do you use?
So it's the RC600 currently.
I'm only on the 300.
Oh, so is that? I'll take that as more
I'm guessing.
options.
So yeah, it's got 6 tracks and all
it's only got
sorts built
3.
in.
Well, I know, right? I feel bad now. I've only got 3 tracks.
Hey, the 300's solid. There's still a few bugs with the 600. So
Oh, yeah. Is it new?
It's a few months old, but it carries on
Yes.
upgrading the firmware. It's one of them, but they kind of put it out and went, oh, isn't working properly. Oh well, we'll upgrade it. It's fine.
How much would someone spend for a 600 then?
They keep going down in price at the minute. So new they were about 700 quid when they first came out, but then I saw a deal where they were like 500. And now
See, I got the 300 new for 400.
Yeah, so that's pretty decent.
From like 3-4 years ago.
some are going for like 400 now when it was like Black Friday, and I think they still are on deal. So well worth it.
It might be so. Maybe I have a second half of the year ready.
Yeah.
And they do the entire tour on the 300 and then
He'll get an RC.
Do an Ed Sheeran where he builds his own loop pedal with like
RC
900
tracks.
I think he has I'm sure I read up he has 10-track looper or something, and 5 of them around the stage or something daft like that.
Yeah,
He's
I've
got
seen
a
him live.
huge one, hasn't he? He's got like a flipping huge. It's almost like a twister board.
It's
just
it's all custom as well. I'm sure it's his own personal
Yeah.
loop station thing. So it's all what he needs, and it's all programmed the way he'd have it.
Runs off MIDI as well and stuff like that.
But you'll have them when I seen the Stadium Light around the corner from here, and it's like a big turntable stage, and as you say, you had maybe 5 around the stage, and you just dance around, right, stop that one. But then you could also have the exact same track on another loop, so then you can play that one, they're all synced, and that way you got around the entire stage and had everything looped in it. It's like a lot more.
I'd just trip over my feet. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh.
I'm buzzing. I've just invested in wireless technology, just for
it's great. It's
wireless
great.
guitar jack, wireless
Game
mic.
changer.
Oh,
Game changer.
I'm not falling over now.
I love it.
But yeah, loop pedal. How long did it take you to get into it? Because it's it's more of an art than people realise, isn't it?
I know, when I saw it, because I probably was similar to you, because I know you were influenced off Ed Sheeran. I saw that video where he did You Need Me, I Don't Need You in the studio.
Yeah.
And when I was 15, and I was to my dad, I want one of them for Christmas. And also saw Katie Tunstall, got the RC30, the 2-track one.
Nice.
And basically, I tried it for a few weeks, and I was like, there is no way I can get this. I'm just getting too frustrated.
Yeah.
And I was just playing through the same song every time and not nailing it. But then I saw another local artist called Craig Rodham using it. I was like, you know what, I need to get back into it, because it does work. And then I basically spent 6 months just learning
it
it.
out.
And the first gig I did with it, I messed up so badly.
As you will.
Yeah.
That's the best thing, though. Again, it's live.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You like to use a lot of foot technology. It's not quite a loop pedal, but you've got your own setup, don't you, when you do your gigs? I think one of them is a loop, isn't it?
Yeah, I use I don't use the loop all that often. What I use the loop for is a drum beat. That's all I've got it for. It's very basic. It's one of those. It's like a mixed. What the hell do you call it? VE20. It's called. It's a Boss one.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like an all-in-one. It's got a vocalizer. It's got it messes with the guitar.
Yeah.
Kind of sound, and it just makes the sound of a single guitar sound more full. That's why I got it, and it has built-in reverb effects and stuff like that. But to be honest, I don't use it for all that much. For what it is, with it's got loads of you can do octaves and obviously you can do chorus, you can do harmonizing with it. If I'm honest, I haven't really used it for that at all. I've used it for the reverb, and I've used it for the guitar effects. It just gives it a bit more of a warmer, crispier sound. It sounds good, and I like it. And obviously, I use the loop pedal. That's so annoying. You know what? It's because it's only one pedal, so you've got to double tap to stop.
That's how I started. I think I had the RC. I want to say 80. You know, the one pedal thing.
Yeah.
Started with that, and it was such a pain because it was step on it to record. And then step on it again to stop recording, double tap to start it, keep your foot on it to delete it. It was such a faff, and I went from that to the 300. And the fact that I had 3 different tracks, I was like, right, that one's guitar, that one's drum, that one's, I do backing vocals and stuff like that. And I think I got that probably basics I got in the matter of 20, 30 minutes or so. But I was simply just doing a simple drum tap, and then I was playing chords, and that was it. And then the more I've used it, the more I've kind of figured how to get the most out of it. But the single tap ones are an absolute ball ache to get into.
Because what happens as well is when you finish the song, when you've got to erase the thing, it plays it as well.
Yeah.
So you go, thank you, and then you've got this. Especially,
Give it 3 seconds.
Especially because one good thing about it is you've got, and to be fair, I do use it. I don't use it on every song. I use it the odd. So if I'm doing a little solo, I'll kind of loop it that way. I'll occasionally do little harmonies as well.
Yeah.
But when you're doing the harmonies, it's just the most embarrassing thing, because it's you go at the end of the song.
Yeah.
So it's just
So does it have harmonies built into it then?
It's it's an harmony processor. But what I use, because it uses because you plug your vocals in and your guitar.
Oh, yeah.
So I just manually harmonise it. I just sing into it and record the thing. But you can, it's like digitalized. I don't know how it does it, but there's like a vocoder built in, so you can either have a lower harmony, a higher harmony. You can match it to the key. So if you're playing like a major, it'll harmonize to the major, match to the. It's quite clever. It's too clever for me.
You see, though, like I'd accidentally hit it when I was like talking, and I'd be like, "Thank you very much," or something like that.
Thank you.
I keep getting recommended to use harmony pedals. I can't. I feel like it takes part of the live out.
Yeah, 100%.
Whereas I can harmonise certain bits of a song.
I'd rather, that's my problem. I'd much rather harmonise on a chorus. And you know who does that really well? Johnny Boyle. If you ever see Johnny Boyle, because he's got a loop pedal.
I've seen him occasionally uses a harmony pedal. But I think they're the times I've seen him. I normally see him on like the Monday song.
He's got a looper, but he harmonises with a loop. I don't know if he uses a harmonizer as well, but when I've seen him, he just kind of loops his own harmony, which is
maybe
you do that quite well as well, actually.
Ish. I can't. I'm really bad at picking out harmonies. I never took this like a proper music lesson. I don't know anything about them. I just do octaves higher. Like, I couldn't tell you the difference between a C and a D harmony, if that's even a thing. There's an octave to an octave to an octave. And I get to studios and they're like, right, is that I can get 2 more octaves higher. Do you reckon? I can get 2 more octaves higher. I'll breathe in for this. And I go like 6 octaves up from whatever I was at, and it's all high falsetto.
It's just like a chord, though. 5th above, 7th above.
Yeah.
I'm the same.
But I haven't got a clue, because like I don't get the whole. We've done stuff. James has got his own studio in his house, and how I've recorded a couple of songs with him.
Studio.
And,
it's a room with a computer and a bunch of mics.
And I used to do recording with my mate Rich, and when we pick a harmony, he'd like play he was more piano.
Yeah.
He'd play a note on the piano, and then he'd find the harmony on the piano. And James did the same with a note, and then he'd find the harmony on the guitar. And I'm looking going, I don't get how that is a harmony, because in theory, if we played a gig and let's say a D and a C was a harmony, if I played a C chord and you played a D chord, people go, what the fuck was that? And I don't get the difference in how.
It's so a D chord uses different notes, and then that conflicts with a
So it's a single
C.
note.
So the single D note, because there'll be a single D note in a C, and vice versa. But if you'd add like a G into the D, then G, there was a G and a D anyway. But like I'm not such a whiz that but I know that much, like, because that's all chords are. That's all harmony is. It's just chords with your voice.
Yeah.
Which is why if you ever wonder, if you play like an A and you're trying to find the harmony is you're already playing a harmony. You just transpose the note on your guitar to whatever you want to sing. That's how I do it anyway.
Okay. So not a clue.
No. Magical, that, like.
So considering we've probably just bored a lot of our listeners for the last 10 minutes who aren't really into the music scene, going back to yourself, so what was it that failed to ignite, that gave you a band name? See what I did there?
I saw it. That's good.
Nice. Thank you.
Professional and all that.
33rd podcast or something.
But basically, I was just kind of like, I do my own name as covers in pubs and stuff, and I didn't want to get them conflicted. So I was like, right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Yeah.
I think I know some people who do it successfully, but I'm kind of like, I don't want people to come and expect like this really depressing emo pop punk music when like I'm playing, Sweet Caroline or something.
Yeah.
But then basically I was like, there's a few of them. There's like Secondhand Serenade and Say We Can Fly, like who do, it's just one person, but they do it under a band name. And because it's like alternative, I kind of wanted to show that it's not just, acoustic and vocals. I wanted it to like, because it has that full band sound, and I use electric guitar live. So it's like, I didn't want to just be, like, I love acoustic music, but that's not what I do as such. So
you wanted to be a bit more. No, I get that completely.
Except people are like, oh, so how many are in the band in an attempt to a gig? And I'm like, oh, it's just me.
Yeah.
I mean, there's loads of people who've done made a success out of just having like it's like a band name, but it's, because the thing is, if you ever change your mind, you thought, oh, I fancy having a band, you've already got the name, haven't you? So it's like,
ironically, when James does his gigs, he is now James Berry in the best of a folk rock band out of Fulwell. But beforehand, when he was a solo, he was just torn apart by Lisa. So he did the same thing. He had a band name. As a solo.
Because I wanted to swap I wanted to distinguish myself between when I was playing cover songs and when I was playing things. I dropped the name only like not too long ago, to be honest. One, I got sick of people saying, "Who's Lisa?" It's like, nobody's Lisa, all right.
Wait till you make it famous. People go, "Where's Full Wool?"
Yeah, I know. That's it. That's going to be the other thing.
The best folk rock band out of Sunderland.
But the other thing was, like, I was trying to juggle loads of different like social media things. I'm not good in social media in the first place, so like trying to juggle between 2 different profiles and stuff, I was like, oh, this is just too much. I'm just going to be James Berry, and like I'll have the band for my original stuff, and then it can just be me doing. So, to be fair, I don't really advertise my cover gigs anymore because nobody, unless I'm in the local area, I'll message my mate saying, listen, Rich knows more than anyone.
Unless it's Rich, I was about to say.
Because I was playing like 5 minutes from his Sorry Again, which next time I'm playing, I'll definitely let you know, I promise. But yeah, I don't usually advertise my cover gigs, just for that reason, really. I want to keep the social media for like my original stuff. But yeah.
Mint. We'll take a quick break because we're pushing the 15-minute mark. Just before we do that, I'm going to quickly plug this episode will come out on the 17th of January.
Probably.
So a week on Saturday, the 28th of January, me and James are going to be co-hosting a HMV Newcastle live.
Yeah.
Live and local?
Live and local. I like to call it HMV Fest because it makes it sound really cool.
What have I actually called it? I've got it on here. We've
HMV
like
Fest. I think you just call it HMV Live and
I
Local.
think I got really boring with what it was, wasn't I? Sorry about
You
that,
need
Rich.
like
I should have put
X-Factor.
more effort.
You need the X Factor man voice to advertise it.
HMV Fest.
HMV.
We've called
Rachel
it.
Ladder DJ.
We're just Off the Stage podcast presents HMV Live and Local Buskers.
Yeah.
What a mouthful. We'll get better at that.
HMV Fest.
Yeah, but basically from 11 a.m, HMV in Newcastle, we're going to have 8 to 9 different acts on. Some of them are still being confirmed as we speak. But we're going to be hosting it in between the sets. James and myself, we're going to quiz them up. How was the gig? Or we'll quiz them before. We'll kind of get the gist of it. But we're going to have a little bit of content to go out through February, possibly March.
I'm basically just going to sit them down and go, who are you?
Yeah, we're going to do mini podcast recordings. But it's live and local, so get yourself down. It's January, it's going to be quite quiet. Yeah. That's the fear. So we're hoping if we can get plenty of people in, come see some new talent, because you might be able to see the next big act that you really fancy. And excuse me, I'm burping in the middle of that promotion. Right. But HMV Newcastle, Eldon Square, 11 till 4. Yeah, upstairs in HMV. That's all we need a plug, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to take a short break and we'll see you on Side B.
Yep. Side B. That's that one.
What's happening, guys? I'm headlining Little Buildings on the 28th of January. It's going to be £5 a ticket. James is currently checking the focus on the camera. At the minute, as I'm recording this, I have 25 tickets left out of a 60 capacity room. So hurry up and get yours. We've got Josh Hennigan and the Priters, our support acts. £5 a ticket for 3 musicians. You may as well fork out the money and come and see us live. It is going to be a great show. After I sell a certain amount of tickets there, I'm going to announce the next one in March. So I will see you there. Cheers.
We're back, baby!
Like that with yourself. That's what should be used.
Yeah, not Ollie Murs.
To go at the break. We'll love you, Ollie. If you want to come back on, come back on. Just want to come on.
As if he's actually big enough.
As if that wasn't recorded at the back of HMV. I mean, he's gigging in April. You never know.
Well.
So, part 2, we used to do like Would You Rathers and like Shag, Marry, Voids and scenarios and stuff like that, zombie apocalypses. And last week, which you wouldn't have seen, but the viewers would have obviously seen, we've started a new thing called Just Ask James.
Yeah, it's so basically what I do is I go on Reddit. There's a thread called r/musicians, and these mostly anonymous musicians, like ask advice about certain dilemmas or certain situations or what should I do. I thought it'd be quite good to share these with our listeners and everyone else, and if we have an opinion and if we can give any advice to this anonymous person if they ever listen. You know. Just, you know.
And also, if anybody actually does have any queries, send them in. We want to hear like gig stories as well. Send anything you want, and we'll find content for it.
If you want advice, just ask James.
So James, I got 2 here because one's short and one's long, like a Harry Potter novel. So
Right. Okay.
first one, the short one. I'm 16 and I am a clarinet/saxophone player.
Good.
My orchestra teacher partially conducted a pro gig. She recruited me to play a major solo in it. The lady who I played with and whose show it was invited me to play at the Iridum Jazz Club, if I'm saying that correct. And I played it. I got invited back again, so it's almost like a regular thing at that point that I play with this pro band. Am I considered a professional at all if I play all these gigs but I don't get paid?
No.
Thank you. I get comp tickets. Maybe she'll pay in the future, but as of now, I'm not getting paid.
Right. So I mean, at 16, that's quite.
It's fantastic
That's quite
achievement.
good. Yeah. I mean, I was quite abrupt there. I do apologise.
No, but
because
you're
only
right.
16. You know, you.
The second you get paid, you get.
But yeah, professional. The
No
standard
matter how much you get paid.
term of professional. It could be semi-professional. It could be amateur professional. But essentially the very basic of professional is that you do it for a living. You make money from it, and you are able to.
Just if is the first time you get paid for a gig, that's when you can classify.
Do you think is that?
That would be my. You don't use it for a living, but you are a professional musician.
Yeah. Or am I a professional musician?
I would say so, James.
I feel very unprofessional.
I have seen
at a
your
lot of times.
voices.
So I feel very unprofessional every now and then.
I remember my first ever gig. I did for like 20 quid at a charity event or something like that. Or like it was a gin
You got
festival
paid
event.
at a charity event?
Oh, sorry, it was a gin
Flipping
festival event.
No, but don't you feel great even when it's like a tenner for your first gig?
And I
Yeah,
was
it is.
chasing that 20 quid for a month just so I could declare myself as a professional musician at that point. It was just that stature.
I'll not take that off you.
Thank
then.
you.
Mind you, you should have done your first music video like the rappers
Yeah.
with that 120 quid.
Can I have that back, please?
But yeah, so if you, I mean, stick at it. Obviously, you're on your way. But I think the older you get, the more you'll realise what worth. Because I think they're probably being a bit shady. They're thinking, oh, you're only a young'un. She'll do it for free because, they want their exposure and stuff. Asking you back again and still not paying you. So whoever's the teacher there, shame on you. I'm going to ask for free lessons off you, actually. I'm sure you won't mind. Huh? So, there.
I love that head nod. Oh, yeah? Flick that hair.
Yeah, so, no, I think that's my answer. You're not a professional yet, but know your worth. And next time, do what Connor did and ask for 20 quid or $20 or
20 pence will count. Right?
Yeah.
Any form of payment financially counts as professionalism.
Yeah. What was your first paid gig? Curiosity.
It was basically, I remember it, I was in like a Blink-182 cover band.
Ah, nice.
Typical.
Well, I'm the odd one out.
Typical emo.
Yes.
And basically, my music teacher was like, "Oh, the band I had has dropped out my son's 18th," and that when I was in school, and I was like, "Well, I'm in a band, I can do it." So we just basically went onto it, got paid 40 quid between us for 3 members. So
nice. That's how it is.
that's,
That's how you do it.
Same nowadays, though, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. But then basically,
some venues.
they were like, "Oh, can you learn these indie songs?" It's like, well, we're pop punk, but we'll give it a go at the Libertines, like, and we just played them really fast and counted.
To be fair, like I reckon Libertines has a bit of like, I mean, Don't Look Back Into the Sun.
Yeah.
That you could. I mean, I know it's not the same tone and stuff like that, but it's the same feeling, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah, that's it.
I love the Libertines.
We did that and what KE did as well.
Oh yeah.
Which was very interesting, put it that way.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I used to love my early gigs. Like, anyway, what's your other?
So I was really poor at reading in school. I still am, James.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you do spell with an E, so
Exactly. This is a long one, and it's going to take me a while to get through it, so buckle in, guys. I've been trying to form a band for years, and have consistently failed. Why? That's the heading.
okay.
I don't understand it. I'm really good. Normally people who start with that aren't. Maybe not perfect or ready to tour or anything. I wouldn't be useless. I had a band to practice with, but I've been playing for 7 years, and I have over 300 songs. I play open mics, and people approach me to jam.
Right.
That's how good I am.
I'm starting to think there's
I'm starting to find out why there's an issue.
Yeah. Go on.
I have great songs, and I don't get a massive ego. Sorry, I don't have a massive ego. Well, the first 3 sentences say differently. I'm just saying this so you understand that I'm not being avoided for being shit. I sing, I play guitar and piano, I dabble in drums. My main is guitar and vocals. I have friends, I have social relationships. I'm fine with all that.
Okay.
But musicians are like, hey, let's jam. And then maybe if I'm super persistent, they meet up with me once a month, just one-on-one. I've never in my life, capitals, had a full band jam despite 7 years of trying. I'll admit the first 2-3 years I was shit, but I got better, and now, as I said, I'm pretty damn good. I get it, people are busy and have lives, but I make it known that I want to form a band, that I want to meet up at least twice a week, get something really going. And no, I'm not crazy. I don't say that out. Sorry, I don't say that out of the gate. I say I'm interested in forming a band. Let's jam, see how it goes. Shit like that. I am willing to travel all over my city, host or to be hosted, but it's always 3 weeks to set up an hour jam here or there, 5 days, no response from people, and then they hit me back up, which means they must be interested, but only barely though. Final paragraph. Genre-wise, I am flexible. I have music. I've written for multiple genres. I'm open to doing covers to get gigs, but I'd want to do originals as well. I'm also not an attention hog. I tell them that I can front and sing, or we can share if they have a good voice, or they can just play whatever they want.
Yeah.
What am I doing wrong? What is the secret? Why have I... Sorry, I have no doubt in my mind I could have a record deal within a year of forming this band. If the band was half decent to start, yet I have been failing for 7 years when they approach me.
What?
Why?
Right.
Sorry for my incorrect reading ability there.
Let's do a bit of roleplay.
Let's go to the around 27th word.
Well,
massive ego.
Well, that's what I was going to do a little bit of
I'm going that
roleplay.
one first.
I was going to do a bit of roleplay, so pretend I'm this guy.
All right.
Right.
Who am I? Am I just a band?
You're just like a failed band member. You're also
Wait, hold
a
on.
failed
Have
band
we
member.
done the band?
I'm approaching you. Oh no, you're approaching me because okay. I've just finished a set. I am so good. I've played one of my 300 songs. I mean, I've
short
played
set.
piano. I'm just amazing. But I don't have an ego. I'm just amazing. And you've approached me to gig, saying, "Oh, that was pretty good." I mean, you don't know anything about us because all I've done is I've just been amazing
Let's
on
roleplay.
the stage.
I like this.
Like, obviously, both of you are
Turn this
just
up a
like,
little
oh
bit
my
up,
god,
'cause
these
that's
guys are
quiet.
flipping mint. See, you usually doesn't really matter.
That's you. I'm too. That's why I've been quiet. I've been pissing about your mic. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say I would just adjust it. And
That's fine.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, fine. Right. Okay. Role play. So you've just seen me play. Go. Right.
Oh, I tell you what, that was a fantastic show. I would love to be part of a project you had in the future.
Well, I know it was mint, wasn't it? Well, I am amazing. So I mean, yeah, we could do it. Are you any good?
I mean, I've done a fair few gigs. I get a pretty good response now and then.
I guess I could give you a go.
Okay. How does Monday work?
Well, I tell you what, I'll give you my number and you contact me to gig.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Walks away, never talks again.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the problem, you see. You've got a massive ego.
No, I don't have a massive
Oh, he
ego.
doesn't have a
I'm
massive
just
ego.
saying this so that you understand that I'm not shit. I've never heard such a contrast in one sentence.
But to be fair, that is genuinely your problem. It's kind of, people don't like egos. People don't. You seem a bit uptight, I think is the word, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
I
need-
wouldn't want to work with that. Music
Yeah.
is creative and fun.
You need
don't
to,
want to be.
You need to sort of be
restricted.
approachable. Like,
Yeah.
just be polite.
Humble
Yeah,
would be
humble
nice.
as well. That's it as well. I'd be like, I'm the best, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
realistically, if you have 300 songs and you think you could be signed to a record with a band, you could hire a session band to just do the recordings and then get signed that year. And everybody will snap your hand off for a position in that record signed band.
Yeah.
The fact that you haven't done it kind of suggests that them 300 songs might not be record worthy.
Exactly that. Yeah, so I'm sure actually, that was one of the ones I actually read before, to be fair.
Good.
Um,
Should have got you read it out then.
Well, there's some good. I was going to say that there's some good comments. Save the comments.
I didn't. I just kind of put the question in.
Yeah. So this was. Hang on, let's see if I can find it. Because there was someone good. The best thing from this was the comment, the latest comment from it.
Reddit can be a cesspit though.
It's honestly, it's so great. I love it.
Sometimes the comments are better than the actual post.
I love the cesspit. I'm a
This
valued
is the
member
one
of the
that has
cesspit.
a why am I failing? Big
Why am I
title.
failing? Yeah. So
I've got another option for him: get a loop pedal and be your own band.
well, that's
It
what.
has worked for 2 out of 3 of us.
I'm sure, right? I'm almost positive if he did that in the songs and he was as good as he said it was. I mean, he's obviously a multi-instrumentalist, so he
Yeah,
could bring a load of stuff
He
on
can
stage.
play guitar and piano, and he dabbles in drums. Basically, he can drum his guitar to make a drum beat, as we do, or as yourself, bring a drum pad. He plays a guitar, so he can play his guitar riffs. Piano, get a little synth pad.
Yep.
You're in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, do it all. It all hooks up.
All right, so this is user crazy maybe. I don't think there's any maybe about it.
No.
So the top comment was, dude, you ask for advice, people give you advice, and you get offended. Perhaps that's the problem.
Sounds like someone who can't take critical advice.
No.
Not critical advice. What's it?
Criticism.
Constructive criticism. That's the
yes.
one. Critical advice.
Critical
Critical advice.
Thing is,
Stop.
Thing is, he replied saying, "I'll consider what you said. I'm honestly not opposed to it, but most bands I've seen looking." Hang on, this is good. I'll consider what you
Tim
said.
Butt.
I'm honestly not opposed to it, but most bands I've seen looking for people my skin level, meaning average, are not going to want to be serious. So it's everyone else's fault. He's the not. That's gonna be the problem, isn't it? So he thinks no one else is as serious as him or as committed. So he's going up to them. Listen, we're gonna get a record deal next year. You come and practice with me. We'll practice two times a night, like really kind of full on. Don't be so full on. Don't be so egotistical. And there we go. Yeah.
It's basically he's going, you're entitled to your wrong opinion.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Exactly. So your attitude and ego are 100% of your problem right now. I agree with that comment. So
But he said he doesn't have an ego.
No. He says he doesn't have a massive ego.
Oh, massive
Yeah.
ego.
Gigantic, however.
yeah. That's it. So he's like, there's loads of different comments. Some have actually like, my guy, chill.
That's the best one.
Honestly, that's why I live for Reddit. I just look at the comments. But my impression is that you lack direction and a plan. Says low budget Viking. Love it.
Standard
budget
low budget Vikings.
But yeah, every single time someone like says like this is I think this is what your issue is. He's asked for advice. People are asking like this is what your issue is, and he's getting offended and like go no, that's not what the issue is. It's like well yeah man, just crazy maybe. Yes, crazy you are.
Crazy, no, maybe.
Yeah.
We're gonna take another short break. I want to refill my drink.
Yep.
In the meanwhile, if you guys want to comment what advice you would have given, please do. If you've got any questions, if you want to start a band but it's not working, let us know and we'll tell you what you're doing wrong and why you're the problem. And we'll see you in the next part.
Yeah.
I think that works.
That works better, doesn't it? Yeah, we're gonna do that from now on.
Hi, I'm Ollie Murs, and you've been listening to Off the Stage podcast. I love it. Go listen, it's fantastic.
Wow. Welcome back to side 3, side C. What side is it?
The seaside.
The seaside? 'Cause I do like to be beside the seaside.
Part 3. I have not prepared for this.
Oh,
So thank you very much for listening to Off the Stage podcast. Yeah. So Nathan and went downstairs. Went downstairs to get a fight. He was like, I can't believe I called him Nathan. I was like, you said it so confidently.
I know.
We are here with Nathan.
You know what though? If you say anything with confidence, it doesn't seem wrong. It's fine.
Because
He's over here changing
that's
his
it,
name by
with such
default now.
confidence, you'd be like, am I called Nathan?
Yeah, I was actually at first. I was like, hang on, have I changed names?
What's going on in here?
I do again apologise for that. Honestly, I'm the worst person with names. Great with faces, but I'm just like, there was a wedding I was at in the summer. There was a guy. and he was my brother's friend. He was in my dad's football team, in my brother's football team, and I knew who he was, and I just didn't know what he was called, and I was in that point where, because he kept coming up to talking to us, he was like, "You all right, James?" Like, "All right, mate." And I was vigorously searching through Facebook, like mutual friends. My brother doesn't have Facebook, so I was trying to find who it was, and I found his name. Great. I can't remember what it is now, but
I was waiting for you to say it was like James or something like that, so you remember.
No, but I was just like, I just started like shouting, it's him, that's who I found him.
He's screwed when you see him again.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you're right, man, how's it going?
Mate, how's it going? Well, anyway, that's my story of how I'm useless with names.
Yes, you are. So, obviously you do it as a solo project. How long have you been doing the originals for?
So in terms of originals, I've done bands for years, but then when my band ended, I was a bit.
Was the band the same name?
No, it was Endless Season UK. They were like they've been around anyway. Like they do quite a lot of like Newcastle and that sort of area. But basically, I was kind of like not burnt out as per se, but I was a bit like, oh right, what do I do now? Normally, I'd get the urge to be like, right, another band will do, but I was kind of like, I don't know what I want to do, so I just sat down. I was just doing cover gigs for a bit. Like, I've been doing them for years, but then I was kind of like, I want to do something original, but I don't know what. So I just sort of started jamming ideas and that, and went back to basically my roots of like pop punk stuff I grew up on. But I was like, I want to do it in a more mature way, because, you know, I'm 28, so like I don't want to be like, mom and dad don't understand or whatever, you know, like
I got grounded the other day. Oh, you're already starting a good song. Finish that song.
All right, I got grounded. I can't because I can't now, because I was such a good boy. I never got grounded, so that's no experience.
Thing is, you can write from
I
other
got grounded
people.
once, and I did that thing where I tie my bed sheets together to try and climb out the window.
Oh no!
But
I'm leaving home, mom.
yeah, I remember tying them when I was hanging out the window, and two minds going, I could die, but I could be free.
That's an emo song. I could die, but I could be free.
You're writing my next single already. I love it.
Copyright these.
About being grounded. Maybe you should go back to the.
Yeah, I'm gonna go even
Go to the roots. Yeah.
But yeah, basically, I messed about with song ideas, and I liked what I heard, and I was like,
Cool.
I'm just gonna do it myself because I've got my own recording setup, so why not?
Absolutely.
It's a lot easier to do, like
100%.
just getting, because you've got your own agency, and you've got you just, especially like recording like on your own, you're able to just be in your zone and just. I mean, I like that. I do like a good jam, to be fair, but when it like recording process specifically, it is so
It's a
much
headache,
easier.
isn't it?
Yeah.
As long as you know what you're doing. That would be my issue. When I go to blast and record, I feel really awkward. Right, hit these notes. I'm like, I could if you weren't here. Very much be able to do that.
See, I'm quite lucky though, because my girlfriend's a really good vocalist. So like, I'm recording a song at the minute, and she was literally sat next to me, like, right, sing it like this with your mouth, like this, like proper emphasizing words and that. Because I'm normally like, and then like I'm not hit like. She's like, I can't even tell what you're singing half the time, so you have to sing it like this. So I've been quite lucky that I've got that sort of second opinion, kind of like having a co-producer almost.
When you do your original, it's just dawned on us there. You're a solo with a loop pedal. Do you use an acoustic guitar or an electric?
Electric, I use a Fender Jazzmaster.
Do you have like a preamp before the loop pedal? How do you set up?
So I have a HX Stomp and like a couple of pedals basically. So I can make my guitar sound like a bass. I basically set it up with an octave pedal, and then essentially I've gone into like a bass amp sim to record the bass. Drums, obviously, it's the samples I use for recording, so exactly the same. And then I emulate a guitar amp, the HX Stomp, and it does the trick. Like, 'cause I remember the first gig I did Little Buildings, and I was just like dun dun dun. I was like, oh, this guy it actually sounds all right, actually, you know. But I remember like it was a very stressful experience, like rehearsing. I was like, sounds good in my room and like through this tiny PA that I have, but will it sound good in a big venue? But
the sound, like you see those, because it's a Pod Go I've got.
Yeah.
It's the same model. It's just this. It's got like a wah wah pedal. It's not as intricate.
Wah pedal.
Wow,
Wah wah wah. You know all about them.
I am the wah wah pedal.
It's not as complicated. You can't do as much with it. It's the same models. Excuse me. It's the same kind of modelling kind of thing. But it sounds great. Just even through your headphones, through any kind of size thing, it just carries. It's such a honestly. I always thought it was like the death of big amps. I couldn't do a big amp nowadays.
No, my back could never handle
Nah.
it. Or my knees.
No, that's it. It's a pretty godsend. I nearly got the HX Stomp.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's kind of because it's a smaller unit. You do kind of need other pedals afterward. But
it's the only limitation. But
yeah,
it's alright.
but honestly, hell of a sound you get out of it.
The class it's just like using a real amp. To be fair.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And the audience don't mind. It's not
They
like
don't care.
the only one.
As long as the sound comes out, isn't it?
That's it.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's going to be like some random guy in the audience like that's not a tube amp.
That being said, isn't it annoying now that you're a professional musician and you go to gigs? You ever been to a gig where you feel like you haven't switched off and you're just there going, the sound engineer's fucked up and needs to do this? Or like me and Scott went to see Tori Amos a few months back and we're there going, the fucking reverb needs to come down. What are you doing?
But you because isn't it so annoying when people do that to you? If people come up to you and
Yes.
go, "Oh, you need to do this, you
it's
need to do
absolutely-
that,"
But you kind of get the urge.
So
and
you
you're
know,
like,
so you know what needs to be done, but like you just kind of you don't want to be like that guy, do you? Like,
absolutely.
The worst is listening to like a professional mix and you're like, right, if I was doing this, I would have turned this down and this down. I'd have had more low end or whatever,
Absolutely. Is there any? Because this episode will come out 17th of January as we record it. It's the 3rd. Have you got any gigs coming soon?
So I'm playing with Set Your Sights at Any Volume Bar on 17th of February. So exactly a month away.
I was about to say
Um,
I'm there like the 25th. No, I was like, it could have been cool if it was like it's the same day.
Oh, imagine that. But no, I'm playing now Set Your Sights. I'm looking forward to that one.
Is that you as a solo?
Yeah.
Are you supporting Set Your Sights?
Support and Set Your Sights, yeah. They took a big punt and so did I, to be fair, because they basically asked me when I just put out my first song and went, "Oh, do you want to play this gig?" And I was like, I think my sample will work live. I've not tried it, but I'll do it. But
that's
then
what you gotta do though, isn't it? Just like
just jump in the deep end. Well, I've gone on a tangent. I had my first gig 2 weeks after I put my first song out. Hadn't practiced, and it was like 2 weeks to go to the gig.
Is that the Little Buildings one you did?
Yes, with Blink-182 tribute band, going back to my roots again.
Yeah.
But basically they were like, "Oh yeah, it's fully sold out," and that, and I was like, not like jumping in the deep end. So
Yeah, that is
went for
literally
it,
like
and it was
good.
terrifying. Like every song, I was like, oh, "Okay, I think I remember how to play this one."
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, I've got one at HMV Newcastle in June.
Big shout out, Rich.
Oh, yeah.
Not that he's watching this. He'll be I'm sure he listens to it.
I think he listens.
He messages today, like, because the episode that came out today was with Carl Stacey, and I was kicking off with Blueberries.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "What have you got against Blueberries?" And he's like, "It's so weird that you're talking to us whilst I'm on the bus to work." So I hope we're doing it again.
Yeah.
Sorry, when was that date?
I believe it's 17th of June.
Going a long way.
Yeah,
in the future.
basically that
Off
was
at the minute.
that was the first gig I booked. So like I got that, then Set Your Sights, then that one at Little Buildings. So it was like going backwards. But I thought that's ages away. I'll have plenty of time to prepare. So that's why I booked it in June. But now I've kind of booked it that far out that it's like so far away.
You'll like the HMV. It's really good.
I'm looking forward to it. It's been like a goal to play in a HMV for years. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I felt. Like it's because it's like your childhood, isn't it?
yeah,
It's like-
exactly. Like bought my first
Yeah.
album from there and stuff. So
Yeah, it's as a solo, they'll probably ask you if you want to play up or downstairs. Downstairs, you'll draw more of a crowd because you buy the door, but it's a more awkward setup.
Yeah.
As a solo, I still played upstairs where you played, and it's worth it because you got the entire live and local thing behind you.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
If you do it enough, people who will be upstairs will stand and watch, and you might only get 5-6 people, but I did that, and then 5-6 people that are there are now coming to my Little Buildings gig, and it's just like trying to build that. Fantastic work that you're doing there, Rich. So
Yeah.
keep that up. You are appreciated. Yeah. Obviously, we'll be there on the 28th, and we'll do our part for it. But yeah, once you get into HMV Newcastle as well, if you go down well, not to say you won't.
might crash and burn.
You never know. But if you do, that, like I think all the HMVs do it. I've just done Metro Centre a few months back.
I didn't know the Metro did it. Like
it was a bit more of a ball ache to set up.
I was going to say, what was the
you
loading
did it.
like as well?
So loading for Newcastle, fairly sound, because you drive under Eldon Square, you park up, Rich meets you, helps you carry your stuff up the lift, mint.
Class.
Metro Centre, park in the Yellow Mall, carry everything as much as you can in between people who are walking in front of you, going as slow as they can, even though you're there with a big ant going, just fucking move out of the way.
during the Saturday, that's only a few Saturdays before Christmas.
During Christmas Saturday.
Or do you get like walk and road rage
I
behind
hate
people?
it with a
Same.
passion.
I jog on the road around them just to make a point.
Same. And then you're like sort of like
His
stomping
stepdaughter,
around.
my stepdaughter just did that earlier today. She was walking really slow. I was like, Peyton, you need to speed the fuck up because you're going to be one of the people I hate in the future. Stop it.
Please don't do this to me.
Have you got any gigs prepared that or in mind that you're thinking of putting on? I want to see you as a headline slot. And I'm going to try and come down to the HMV one because we do get the messages off Rich and he'll because we advertise them on our gig guide every Monday now. Every Monday, if I'm not forgetting to do it. So we'll probably, if we're available, turn up to that. But have you got anything you fancy?
I would want to do it eventually, but I'm kind of self-conscious of people not turning up as you do. Like, because I've not done a headline gig solo. In a band, it's a bit less pressure because there's like 3 or 4 years. But solo, I'm a bit like, would people come or whatever. So I'm like concentrating on like support slots and things like that. But I'm not opposed to it if something was there where I went, right, I'm going to just go for it. Maybe in a few months down the line or something.
Yeah.
But I'm going to set myself some goals for by the end of the year in the next couple of weeks. So potentially.
Cool. Do you do festivals at all?
I'd definitely be up for festivals. I've not done them yet.
We might have one ready for me.
May have one ready for me.
May have one ready for me.
Which one's this?
Oh, well, sorry. James does this thing where he just switches off sometimes. We're potentially planning like an off-the-stage fest for our year anniversary.
Honestly,
I just heard something power up
We
there.
went downstairs and we were going to ask about hiring the room, but we went, we should sort a day out first. We were even talking about it 20 minutes ago.
Can I be honest with you, right? So today, it's the first, because yesterday was a bank holiday, so this is the first, because what I do for my day job is I pack things on eBay. But because yesterday was a bank holiday, this is like, I've had like over like 100 things to pack and pick and parcel and stuff like that. On top of that, I haven't had that much sleep the past few days, so I'm a little bit kind of like, which is probably why I got your name wrong. That's why I'm making that excuse right there.
No excuse. He's
Someone
just
you
bad
sent
at
a
his
package
job.
to was called Nathan.
So it's just kind of like,
Funny if someone called Anthony's got that parcel now.
and again, I've went from that just non-stopness to come straight here. So I'm just a bit like, that's the excuse I'm giving you.
So we've not got a date planned, but if James accepts it, we're planning on a festival, and
Yes,
we're hoping to
absolutely.
do it. We'll sort something out proper. But I mean, if you're up for a 30-minute slot, we want to try and get
100%.
a few people back for that being on the podcast already. But yeah, I mean, if you want to start like a headline gig, the best options are the small venues.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
little buildings, I want to say it's a 50 capacity room. I think
It's
something
not
like
a
that.
big room.
It's not.
smaller than
It's
this.
a practice room.
Yeah.
But they hire out for venues for gigs, which is lush. But even if it's a 50 capacity room and you sold 20 tickets, that is a lot of people in a small room. Like that looks full. Like at the minute, I think that's roughly what I'm on to fill that room so far with mine. And I know I'm not going to sell out, but it's definitely going to look fuller.
Yeah.
I did Surf Cafe twice, and the first time I think I was one off a sellout.
It's
So close. And again, that's like a 50 capacity room. And we sold 49 and it looked full. And then I did it again and we'd sold 23, something like that. And it didn't look that much different. The difference was more people were by the bar rather than in front of you, because it's a really weird square shape.
Yeah, it's like,
Then a bar and everybody was there. So if you were all there, it would look the same. So selling tickets, it's not a massive fear if you can get 2 support acts in as well. They'll flog
that's
them.
true.
But definitely, like, Little Buildings is the best one to put a headline on. 100%. I mean, I'd say that. I haven't done it yet. And when I do, I'm sure I'll be giving you a 5-star review. But I played support for the old Little Buildings. I've went into the new one to hand out posters and stuff, and it looks smaller.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh, it's tiny, like.
but it looks like I'm really excited for it. It's going to be crazy because I've got my wireless stuff now, so I can move about the stage a bit.
Yeah.
And the stage is probably like that bit taller than us. I'm like, I can't jump. This is going to be interesting. But yeah, if you ever get any headline gigs, let me know, and we'll try and do it off the stage feature. Like we can come down and record it and do stuff like that.
That's a new thing we're trying for the new year. We're trying to get ourselves down to the local gigs, do a quick feature. So
Are we doing the first of every month?
Yeah, first of every month. We're going to give it a go anyway. I mean, this isn't gospel, but we're just thinking out loud right now.
So potentially, as this is released on the 17th of January, come to the 7th of February, we should have our first live gig podcast, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't even know how it's going to
We haven't
work.
figured anything out, we're just winging it.
We're just going to turn up there with a camera and just see what the hell.
And hope they let win.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah.
Gigs aside, have you got any songs coming out?
So I'm currently on recording my next single. I'm trying to get as many layered harmonies and things like that on it. 'Cause I'll be honest, I go overboard with layers. Like, especially now, I'm on to I think about 50 tracks or something daft like that, and that's just with doubled vocals, no harmonies yet or extra like synths or anything. And of course, you need a tambourine on every song.
Yeah.
But once that's done, I'll be setting a release date probably for next month because it's nearly there. It's just
Cool.
last bits.
What's that called?
It's called Faded.
Is that going to be the song you play for us today?
So no, that's going to be my first. That's going to be my first single. that
So
I'll
keep
drop.
an eye out for Faded, guys.
If you like-
I looked for the camera there, right? Because you moved it in the second set.
Do you know
I
the
looked
reason?
there, seen the light when the camera's gone. It's right there.
Do you know the reason I moved it?
Not even
It's 'cause-
convinced I'm in the shot.
Because in there, like you looked like a hobbit because it's like in terms of like
Wait till you see me stand up.
because you looked smaller because the way that it was angled. So I thought I'd put it equilibrium.
Can't believe we didn't address that in the second part. People watching go, what the fuck's going on? James has kicked the camera.
This is part of my thing where I was just like flipping zombie mode, that'll do, that'll do, and just kind of. I think you changed all the settings on there as well, so I'll have to.
I just changed mine and yours.
Oh well, it means it's going to be really quiet at the start and then really loud at later. But
It was, but then I also turned mine down for the third part. So just the second part you got
also, you make it more confusing, and that's fine.
Be like a jump scare for listeners,
there you go,
though.
James.
Yeah, yeah.
Inside pod stuff for James.
So what that was, right?
Go on,
was,
board the listeners.
yeah, we're gonna bore the listeners. So to link to link
waves
the
together.
video with the audio, you need to link the sound waves. So the best way to link the sound wave is for a clap because it's a very easy thing. That's what he's taking the piss out of. I'm trying to make things easier for myself.
And then we started clapping.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Faded's out in February, potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
Until then, what's the title of the song we're going to hear next?
It's called Nothing But a Memory.
And
my
it's
first single.
Currently out.
Yes, it's out on all streaming services, on YouTube, things like that.
Mint. And just before we go, where can people find you? What's your social tags? Hashtags.
Social hashtags. So I'm on Instagram and Facebook. It's just Phil to Ignite Official is my Instagram and TikTok, and then just simply Phil to Ignite for the.
I honestly thought you said Phil to Ignite.
No, there's a running joke.
No, it's Nathan to Ignite.
There's a running joke at the first gig I did. They said, we thought you were saying Phil to Ignite. And now all I'm thinking is getting T-shirts printed with Phil Mitchell's face on and Phil to Ignite.
That would be brilliant.
Yeah, there's a merch idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I don't use Twitter because... But on Instagram, you have to be careful because there is an old account because I did try this project a while ago. And there's about 2 posts on there. So if you see that one, that one's just Phil to Ignite. So just look for Phil to Ignite Official.
Okay.
Official is
Sure,
important.
we'll tag it. I liked I watched the podcast today with Carl Stacey, and I liked the little Instagram tags that you put on. And
Well, I'm
putting a bit of effort in, aren't you, James?
I'm trying to improve.
So in this podcast, James put 99% effort in, and I did the other 1%. James puts 100% effort in himself, but I just mean as terms of how the podcast is done. If I wasn't here, he'd still be firing through. It's all his equipment, and I bring a laptop and ask questions.
It's kind of like that them uni projects where you have a group presentation where it's one person who's done all of it.
Yeah,
Pretty much. I just click the slide button. Right?
That was me, to be
just
fair,
ask
in college.
James.
I was the guy who was like, everyone asked the questions, and I was like, so this is how we're going to do it. So everyone got all the good grades because of me. But anyway.
Thank you for coming down. This has been a really good podcast. I've actually enjoyed it.
I've very much enjoyed it. I think I've needed it, actually.
Yeah, it's
Just
been
needed
good.
to get out and have a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
Talking about music.
And not gig it.
Yeah.
Especially after the New Year's we've had.
Yeah.
I was full of busy. Yeah, we will try and see you at one of your gigs. Obviously, keep us posted. We'll post when we can. We try to push the music scene out a bit more. If you guys want to get in contact with us, we have an email address, offthestageuk@gmail.com. We are Off The Stage UK on every social media, excluding Twitter. We're Off The Stage too. Didn't get that sorted yet.
We haven't
We'll
yet.
get there soon. If you've got any Just Ask James questions, you've got any gig stories, or you've got anything you want us to just put on the podcast, any ideas, let us know. We'll put it in, as long as it's acceptable. And again, 1,000 YouTube subscribers, and we will go on the North Sea with a mankini.
Yes, we certainly will.
So thank you very much for coming down.
Oh, thank you.
We're going to set you up. That's for you. That's for James. I'm in the middle of talking.
Well, makes a change, doesn't it?
Yeah, we would have set you on the stage, but recently you can now take part in our brand new pub table sessions.
Yes,
And
that's
we'll
it.
set you up in here, get you to play a tune, and thank you for coming down.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I hope people are watching this and not just listening.
I know.
Yeah, we will see you on the next side.
Yep. You swear at me like that again.
You need audio description. And then Connor did this to James. Ready.
You're the noose around my neck. I can't breathe at all. You're the words stuck on my chest, forcing me down to the floor. Should I have told you how I was feeling when you said that we were done? I got sick and tired of waiting. Now you're already, I'm not okay. Never be the same. Never be the same without you. I beg you to stay. I beg you to stay, but you don't want to. I can't lie, it's my time I wasted. Now you're nothing but a memory. Can't lie, it's my time I wasted. Now you're nothing but a memory. Is it over for us now? Just a phone call and you're gone. Is there a chance to fix somehow the mistakes where it went wrong? Is it worth the fight of feelings just to have someone to hold? When I'm so afraid of breaking and scared to lose it, I'm not okay. Never be the same. Never be the same without you. I beg you to stay. I beg you to stay, but you don't want to. I can't lie, it's my time I wasted. Now you're nothing but a memory. I can't lie, it's my time I wasted. Now you're nothing but a memory. nothing but a memory. Never be the same. Never be the same without you. I beg you to stay. I beg you to stay, but you don't want to. I can't die, it's my time I wasted. Now you're nothing but a memory. I can't lie, it's my time I wasted. Now you're nothing but a memory. Now you're nothing but a memory. Now you're nothing but a memory.
Off the stage. Get on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You like that? I like that. I literally just said to my missus saying you love this guy.